let me say traditionally, every one of us, even laymen, not only lawyers, there is this case called the eggshell case. The eggshell case, the eggshell case originated from England. I think that was 19th century England. Understood. So in respect of something that has to do with things like you are talking about now, consumer protection, So those have been the fulcrum, the fundamental, of consumer protection, if I can say, although it's strictly in the laws of contract. But as I said earlier on, consumer protection is like a subset of the law of contract. Understood. So that's what they are doing. Now, as I said earlier, the FCCPC Act, is a very wholesome act, very extensive. It's not because the executive chairman is here, I'm trying to flatter him, or it's not. I've gone through it. It's very, very fine. But the problem lies in the fact that, for instance, let me give you an instance. The commission itself, as it said, apart from being a commission, going through the spirit of the law that created that, you find that it's like a court on its own. Now, by Section 49 of the Act, it creates the tribunal. Understood? So, and the tribunal is FCCPC Act. What's it called? Under the commission itself as well. So, the commission is a court. It has power to issue summons, warrants, even subpoena, to prospective offenders or anyone that feels that has offended. And then, if the such party feel aggrieved by the decision of the commission, it can appeal to the tribunal. Understood. Now, who are the members of the tribunal?
FCCPC.
No. Very good. No.
That's two separate bodies.
I'm coming. Section 49 that created it says that the chairman of the tribunal, has to be a lawyer with 10 years cognate experience. Understood. Other members may come from finance and administration, may come from engineering, advocacy, IT. Understood. And they are going to sit on appeal, in respect of a legal proceeding. Understood. I mentioned earlier on that something is like banana peel. Understood. The consumer you are trying to protect. Understood. In respect of that, the other party is watching. If we allow you to waste your time, I'm sorry to use that word. Understood. Go through the commission, then go through the the tribunal, and then I think by Section 51, it said any aggrieved person from the tribunal can also appeal to the Court of Appeal, and then we go to Court of Appeal. Whether a person that is a non-lawyer, can write judgment against me and impose sanctions. Understood? And they have very wide powers of sanction. Understood? For instance, I think one of their infringements attract up to 50 million naira. Understood? Or 5 years imprisonment. I think I'm right. Understood? You can imagine such wide powers. Understood? One of them says, when once found guilty, you are going to pay, I think 10 million naira. Over 3 years. In fact, if it's a corporate organization, understood, the 10% of the turnover of the previous year, that's going to be your penalty. Imagine a very big conglomerate asking it to cough out 10% of it. What's it called? Understood? That's fine. It's meant to protect the consumer. Understood? But do not expect that they will not fight back. Now, when they fight back, and the matter goes to the appellate court, understood, and the decision is rubbished, in the long run, the consumer you are trying to protect, is exposed. Understood? And more or less, the person that the adversary, which I try to protect him against, psychologically, become stronger, and to do the infringement, the infraction is committed earlier on. Understood? You see, I restricted myself to the FCCPC Act in respect of the question that you asked about the policy and whether there are others, because I find it sufficient. Or, let me say, it ought to be sufficient. Why I say so is that, let's look at the police. The Nigerian police has commands, 36 state commands. Understood? Why I draw the attention? Why I draw the example of the police as an example? And as an example is the fact that it is the only organization or agency that I can say comparable to the FCCPC Act. You might be surprised, but they are the only one, the only one agency, that that the operation touches on all 200 million Nigerians. Understood? As I said earlier on, the 200 million, every Nigerian is a consumer. Understood? That's ipso facto, their jurisdiction as well, such extensive. Now look at, let's now contrast that with an agency like INEC. As an INEC, does not have power over me or anything to do with me. Understood? If I'm not 18 years, because I cannot vote. Even if I'm 18 or more than that, understood? And I'm not a registered voter, I decide not to vote. Of course, it's an infringement of my civic responsibility. But INEC cannot do anything in respect of me. Understood? Likewise, others. But in respect of this, you must consume something. Even a child in ovulation, the jurisdiction extended to him because it extended feet that will be taken out of some others, whatever was taken, whatever was purchased by the mother towards a survivor. Exactly, it's within their jurisdiction. But the powers given, understood, is like, I'm very sorry to say, it's like illusory. It's very, very illusory. The fact that if it's exploited, for instance, there are a plethora of authorities, that have talked about their sanctioning powers, understood, and it's very, very wide, For instance, in Garwe against the University of Maiduguri, the Supreme Court has said it, that, as a regulatory authority, your power is circumscribed in respect of inflicting punishment or awarding sanctions, understood? There are so many authorities in respect of that, But here we have an organization that has very, very wide powers in its desire to protect the, what's it called? To protect consumers. Understood? So those things need to be looked into. He was talking of we need to, that they need to move with caution, That's what they did not do in that legislation. I would like, whenever an amendment is going to be undertaken, that should be, it should be considered. So in respect of the question you have asked, understood, traditionally, the law of contract majorly protects consumers, but that is so wide. But talking of a specific legislation, the FCCPC Act, I've gone through it severally, is the best that have protected Nigerian consumer the most. Understood?
All right.